Here we have a pre-owned 2015 Nissan Quest. And this one comes in the SL trim level. This color is going to be brilliant silver. And then we're gonna have a gray leather interior. Now the powertrain on this Quest consists of a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6. Made it to the Xtronic CVT. So same powertrain that you get in the Maxima. But coming to the front end here, we just have our halogen headlamps along with our fog lights there. And looking at it now, it kind of looks like a Sentra in the front. Never noticed that. But for a minivan, it's decent styling. You have the kind of mirror finish there. And this gray is just kind of fading a little bit on the grille. But all in all, it's held up pretty well to have 80,000 miles on it. And down here we have 18-inch aluminum wheels. I don't know what, I've never heard of that tire, but that's interesting. Geo Tour. There's a tread that's on them now. We get passive keyless entry on the front. Now I do like this door panel here. The only plastic is gonna be here and then all this down here. But we get a nice kind of leather going on here. And I love this wood grain finish here. It looks really nice. But the front windows are going to be power. Well, all the windows are going to be power, but the front two are going to be auto one touch up and down. We have our rear window lock here, and then we have our power door lock controls here. And then we can toggle between the left or right mirror, and then we can just scroll whatever way to adjust them. Huge pocket in here, really like that. And a big cup holder there. I did a good job with that. And then we have our power sliding doors that we can control from the front. Open and shut on the right and left side. And then we have a power lift gate in the back. We can toggle our power door whether we want it on or off. Traction control. And there we have our power driver's seat with power lumbar support. See if we can get this to work. So there's that. We can adjust the position of the seat. So I'm gonna scoot it all the way back. So pretty impressive leg room here. I'm 6'3" and I'm able to sit in here no problem. My knees are just barely touching the back of the seat here. Close this door. So I'm really impressed just being able to have a larger adult sit behind someone of similar size. And that's before even getting to the third row. But we have audio and video jacks there. Because we do have a DVD player. And then we have our automatic rear climate controls here. Now I want to show this off, so I'm going to go back up to the screen here. Now you just go to setting, rear display, and then you can just toggle that on. And then there you have it. And you can just hook up whatever to the input down there. And we have a center console space in the second row, 2 cup holders here, and plenty of storage in there to keep your remotes or whatever for your entertainment system. And pockets in the back here. Now what I'm really impressed by is the rear seat. So let's hop back here. So that's my legroom behind the seat. You all just saw me sitting. I didn't adjust it or anything. So really impressed by the overall space in the Quest. And then this is with the seat leaned back, which is nice to have that adjustability. But also I love having grab bars on every door or every window except the driver's side. And on these back two, you can hang shirts for days. And our vents here, pretty easy to use the light. And we have cup holders behind the seats and pockets on either side too for this third row. Very, very impressed by how usable it is back here. But now I'm gonna squeeze back to the front. I don't know why I did it that way, but now let's go ahead and check out the back. Now I do wanna show off this gas tank before I forget. And I'll pop the hood while I'm up here. 2 birds with 1 stone. That needs a little grease, but that's your fuel cap there, and you put your gas in there. We'll just take a quick look at the back end there. So decent styling, especially for 2015. This is one of the better looking vans at that time, but everything's high tech and sleek now. So this probably wouldn't hold up to today's Siennas, Pacificas, and what have you. And then, thinking you can fold your seat in there, maybe. It's a little dirty now, I want to try it out. But a 12 volt back there is nice. Now, if you do want more space, you can fold the seats down and slide them up. And then, of course, you can remove the seat if you want to do that too. And then here for our front passenger seat, it's going to be a manual seat there. So this is for the seat back, and then you can scoot the seat bottom back and forth. I love that they still have that wood grain going throughout on the dash there to match the doors. It's subtle, but it makes a difference. Now we'll just go ahead and pop this hood. And there's that 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6, mostly covered up. That hood is heavy. I guess that's a good thing. Now let's hop in the driver's seat. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. Just a little bit of peeling and fading over the years, but still in pretty good shape. Now over here to the radio, we don't have the nav on this one, but we can check out fuel economy. And there's our radio there. We get, if I get over here, we have FM, and we also have AM. And then when XM is equipped, there's that as well. And we have an aux input as well as a DVD player / CD player, and that's going to be down there. And 2 cup holders here. Then we have 2-stage heated seats for the driver, front passenger, and then we can cut off and on that main plug there. And then we have dual zone automatic climate controls. There are the buttons there. There's our backup camera. And I like that even in this kind of older model, we have the guidelines that follow you as you turn the steering wheel. I always like having those. And then for our shifter, we just hit this button here, pull down, reverse, neutral drive, and then we have a low mode as well. And then cup holders here, cup holders there. Might have already done these cup holders, but that's where that plug is. You just have a 2-prong there, then a USB input. So if you're gonna get something to hook up here and you want to run cords, just make sure it only has 2 plug-ins there. You won't be able to fit that third. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. We have a lockable glove compartment, okay size. Now to the left side of the steering wheel, we can toggle our radio station favorites or track list controls here, volume here, voice recognition controls here. Then we can go through the source, whether it's aux, AM, FM, whatever. We can toggle that there. And then over here, the right side, we have our just standard cruise controls. And over here, we can change the brightness of our gauge cluster. Probably a little harder to see. Well, I guess you can see that digital part. And then over here, we have our shortcuts for what we have in the middle there. And then we can toggle our trips here. And our headlamp controls are here. We have an auto mode, corner lights, headlamps, fog lights, blinkers, high beams. And then over here, we can mist the front, and then we can mist the rear. And then this is for our rear wiper, and then this is for our front wiper. There's our push button start. And finally, here's our key fob. But next, we're gonna go ahead and take this 2015 Nissan Quest SL out on the road for a quick test drive. So I will say, this vehicle does have just about 80,000 miles on it. Not feeling any weird motions from the CVT, so I'm impressed by that. Because you never really do know with Nissan CVTs, they have a history of not being reliable around this time period. Basically till, well, they still have issues, but this seems to be driving very well. And for some reason, I always find myself slightly impressed by the 3.5 liter V6 and the Xtronic CVT as opposed to all of Nissan's other CVT ventures. But in this Quest and in the newer Maximas, I'm very, very impressed by the powertrain setup. Now my lady had like a 14 Maxima, I think it was an SR or something, or SV maybe. And I think that car had 30,000 miles on it. And I think it was 2018 when she got it, so it was kind of weird the miles were that low. But they had to replace the transmission in that car. So you really never can tell with these CVTs. I mean, it can happen to any vehicle, any engine transmission, but I just thought that was weird pulling off the dealership lot that it did that. But it was covered under warranty, so no big deal. But this is driving perfectly fine. And the wind noise on the interstate, I was talking most of the time, but the wind noise was not too bad. I heard it just a little bit. And road noise for the most part, I couldn't hear, but a lot of that had to do with me kind of having my foot in the van. Because the powertrain is not quiet, but it's not overly loud either. It's just not, it's not quiet, that's all. And it is Christmas, so this is kind of weird. Guy had all day to get over. But as you can see up ahead, this traffic is terrible 4 days before Christmas. But under light throttle, it's pretty quiet in here. And with this being a minivan, I like how easy it is to drive. Minivans kind of have a history of that. If you don't want a big Tahoe like in front of me, but you want to have all the space for the kids and something that's relatively practical, you get something like this. Now I am starting to hear the wind noise a little bit coming down this back road here. Just ever so slightly. But especially with Nissans like this, as they get older, seals and certain things just start to fail. So you could fix that, but there's really no need to. Wind noise is not really an issue for me because I keep my music pretty loud. But it is just a bit noticeable on this Quest. But really, really impressed by how this thing is driven, how good the ride is, how good the throttle response is, and just how the CVT seems to have held up and is smoothing, I should say shifting very smoothly, excuse me. So very impressed. But big shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this van today. I'll leave a link below in the description if someone might want to buy this. But this will bring me to the end of my review of the 2015 Nissan Quest SL.